And we're back with another episode of R&R. I'm your host, Jamerson, Ballard. Happy Monday, everybody. Yeah, man. Back with another one. It's like the other one. And, we're going to try to give it a minute to let the room load up some, you know what I mean? But by this time, I know y'all know what time it is. I'm a little late today, man. I'm a little late, I'll admit that, but it's been a very, very eventful weekend for me personally, and I hope yours has been productive. Now, I want to shout out all the Rand Gang members and the Capital Letter Club members because I know y'all out there doing y'all thing, man, and let's get into it. Today's episode is entitled Change is Inevitable. Yeah. I mean, I know it seems kind of like common knowledge, but in part 2 of this self-help series, which kind of seems redundant to name it that, all of this is about self-help. But it's just some of us realize that a little later than others, and it might be a little more painful for some of y'all to come to that realization than others, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to happen. Nothing stays up forever. And I talked about in the previous episode of adapting or dying. Because you have to adapt, man. You would hope that change is on your side, but if you trying to stay the same throughout the years, you going to come into a problem, man. I don't know how you feel about this, but a lot of you niggas is probably gonna need some game updates, and that's a hard fact. You feel me? But yeah, man. Over the week we had damn near 40-year-old man get knocked out, or I mean not knocked out, but beat by a 24-year-old dude, which is probably pretty hard to take, and that is Lomachenko suffered a defeat at the hands of Devin Haney. So congratulations to him for that. We had some other things going on. This national debt situation is crazy. And I don't necessarily understand how they expect us to be owners of property and homeowners and responsible with our debt, and then the country itself is about to default on a loan that is well into the trillions. It's crazy. You know what I mean? We got an old ass man at the helm of our country who can't necessarily stay up, and he might be actually asleep at the wheel, but I'm not trying to pass judgment on the man. You know what I mean? But I definitely think we could do better. This nation is kind of becoming less than a superpower. And that's a hard realization. I mean, this might be something that happens within my lifetime, and it doesn't make me happy to think about that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things in this country need to be reevaluated. For one is the school system. It's sad that in 100 years or so, it still hasn't changed. And it looked too much like the jail system, if you ask me. Another thing is the police situation. That definitely we need to have a hard look at that. But, us as individuals have a job to do. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of where it starts. I want to say this. Self-love is not selfish. I mean, taking care of yourself first and making sure you straight is not a bad thing, where some would probably have you to think that it's best to do that when you're solo dolo and not necessarily in a relationship. But even if you are in a relationship, you have to recognize the signs that you getting tired, you sad, you need to be dealt with in a way that, you have to understand how to deal with you, not only for yourself, but so you can better understand how to deal with your spouse and or your children. How you gonna help them if you don't help you? What's up, Neff? What's going on? How you gonna help somebody if you need help, man? You know what I'm saying? And that's some basic game, but it's real. and we just out here handling business, man. But yeah, man, it's been a lot going on, man. In my own personal life, I had the privilege of running into a guy, a friend of mine, who I haven't talked to in a long time, but we are trying to work on ourselves and coming back in contact with each other. You know, when you have a lot more to bring to the table than you did back in the day, man, it makes you leery. And so, you know, I had to make up on my mind that I was going to show my brother some love. But it was a little bit difficult, you know what I'm saying, to push past all the bullshit. You know, but we are kind of in that group of people who need a tougher love. And I had to make up in my mind that I was going to do that, man. And it's not impossible, but it was a difficult thing. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of us suffer from fear of rejection. And so in order to protect ourselves from that, we kind of reject people first. And like I said, change is inevitable. You know what I'm saying? I can only speak for myself, but I can tell you that a lot of people probably counted me out, man. It probably felt like I wasn't ever going to be shit. And that's hard to take, but a lot of that was the fuel that pushed me to be at the level that I'm striving to be at right now, man. I can't afford to get comfortable, so that's why I constantly preach comfort is the enemy of success, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to get tired of being tired. You know what I mean? And want more for yourself. Some of y'all got your mom and or dad and or, you know, your family structure. But, you know, a lot of people like me didn't have that. You know, because we don't have a safety net, it pushes you a little bit harder to be successful, because if you fail, there is nobody to catch you, man. You know what I mean? So I'm constantly reading and checking out. I'm actually rereading the book right now. And I've probably mentioned this book before, but the Celestine Prophecies is a really decent read, man. It's not a long read, but I'm rereading it because I decided to start a book club within my circle, and we wanted to go over some things and re-understand some stuff, because sometimes you can look at something again that you feel like you might have seen before, but after years of going through certain things, you might see the thing that you've seen before with a new perspective and a different light. You know what I'm saying? And so that's happening. But you know, I don't necessarily aim to be too long with these, because I do have a busy life and a lot of things going on. But I definitely will take time every week out of my week on a consistent basis to show y'all some love and give y'all some tips on how to stay ahead of the curve, man. Get you some game updates. And what I mean by that is just, you know what I mean? I think I heard KRS-One talking about how younger people have something to give to older people to help them move faster in the young world. And the young people, or the older people, have game to give the younger people to help them move in a way in the world of elders. And if there's an exchange that happens there is some growth that can happen and some bonding that can happen. And it's good for everybody, man. But sometimes your pride gets in the way, and it won't let you admit first that you might need to change the way you do some stuff. You know what I mean? Whatever was working even 6 months ago might not necessarily be working right now, man. So, you know, you have to sometimes take steps back, reevaluate what's going on, whether it be with yourself or in your relationship, maybe even in your work life, you know, social life, and, you know, make some changes. Sometimes you got to cut people off, and that's hurtful, because this person, you may have grown accustomed to this person, and what they've attributed to your life thus far. But that does not mean you have to stop what you're doing. You know what I mean? And discontinue moving forward and stay stagnant because the person that you decided to maybe spend your life with or just associate with for a time has made a decision to lay down in one area or another. And if you can't inspire them to move forward with your movement, then you might have to part ways. You know what I mean? Even if just for a time. And, you know, like I said, it's cool when you got a decent reach back game and you can reach back into and kind of check on your folks and see if they've made the appropriate updates to bring them to not necessarily even just your level, but, you know, a higher level, a different level of understanding so y'all can get along better. And if they haven't, then, you know, no harm, no foul. Just keep going forward, man. But you gotta take care of you, man. You gotta take care of you. Everybody not gonna make it. But, you know, what goes up must come down. And whoever you was looking forward to seeing or looking up to when you was younger, or even, you know, five years ago or so, they might not be at the same level they was, and they might not necessarily ever be there again because they got comfortable with where they was and thinking that it was going to always be like that. But that's not how life works, man. I'm telling you, we are a country that has been a superpower for well over 100 years, and it's look like it's coming to an end. And that's a hard reality. I mean, we in debt to our ears, man. And as individuals, we can't do that and expect to keep going forward. So why would we think that the country can? You know what I mean? And it's just sad. But things happen. And either you're going to take that, whatever it is, lesson and move forward and adapt, or you can keep trying to do the same thing and die, man. But doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting something different is the definition of insanity. It's just real plain and simple for y'all, man. I don't really got, you know, no real pizzazzy way to say that, you know, but that's small things to a giant. You know what I mean? Wardrobe updates. Game updates. What's up, 29? These are things that have to happen, man. If you still dressing like you in the 70s right now, you tripping. That's not gonna work. You gonna look out of place. And so I know you was the man back in 94 or all of that, but bruh, that game, as well as it does work on whoever it worked on, Mike can use some updates, bro. And it's just, or you gonna get left behind. You know what I mean? You know, things, life moves on, man. You know what I'm saying? It keeps going. It don't stop because you want it to. That's selfish. But loving yourself enough to know that you need to make some changes, and, you know, when you start feeding yourself better, you know, you used to like eating steak, etc., might not be the thing no more. You know, you 50, 60 years old, you might need to get more heavy with the vegetables. You know what I mean? If you expect to have a longer, better quality life, you're going to have to do that, man. Some of y'all might not be at that level yet. You just out here eating Hot Pockets every day and chimichangas and all that. And that's cool in your 20s, bro. But that ain't going to take you that far, man. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the type of women you might be dealing with, or men. You know what I mean? And this just throughout the week, I've encountered several different types of people who have had seem like the same thing going on in their life, man. And it's just like, how long is life gonna keep beating your ass before you understand that you have to make a change, or you gonna get ran over? So yeah, change is inevitable, man. What goes up must come down, and it's just simple as that. Shout out to my hair personnel, man. She whipped me up, man. Maisha, man, I appreciate that, man. Y'all holler at her on Instagram. But yeah, and like I said, we've had some fortunate things happen, but I won't spend too much time talking about none of that, man. My main focus is to make sure that everybody is approaching a new level. You know what I'm saying? Because it's summertime. You know what I mean? And it's a new season, man. What you doing? What you doing to, step your game up? Leave a comment. Tell me how you plan on making this summer the best summer of your life. You know what I'm saying? Who you plan to cut off, and what you are planning to establish and initiate, what new habits that you feel like might have a better impact on your life, because we want to hear about that. We want to hear about y'all's progress, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not selfish. And again, if y'all have any suggestions on how I can make this a better show, I'm welcome to hear about that, man, because it's y'all's show too. It's not just about me. You know what I mean? So anyway, with that being said, man, I think it's time for a segment I like to call Don't Be a Weirdo. Today's Don't Be a Weirdo. Our weirdo of the week is actually a man out of Tampa, Florida, who was impersonating a police officer. Bro had a fake badge and some fake lights, and he was pulling women over, acting like he was a real police officer, and he was arresting them or pretending like he was arresting them and taking them to an abandoned apartment, and raping them. This dude's name is Justin Evans. And all of this was going on maybe 2 years ago, but Brett just now got his sentencing, and the judge is giving his ass life. And I think he deserved that shit, because, bro, that's weird. That's weird. It's bad enough we got corrupt police officers, and then it's a brother, so you out here pretending like you a police officer so you can get babby. You can't get no trim just being yourself, bro. I mean, you can buy some trim. You didn't spend money on lights for your car and a badge. You pulling chicks over. He pulled one lady over, and I guess he decided not to go on with it because she had a baby in her car, or her 7-year-old in the car with her. But he actually raped another girl, and maybe 2 of them, at least. Who knows? Because one of them heard about the charges against him on the other one and came forward and started, saying that she had became a victim of this dude because she recognized his car. So y'all in Florida, man, watch out, man. I mean, the dude is under arrest now, but I guess it's some weird shit going on out there. So, you might want to chill out. Inspect the badge more. If dude flashing it to you, don't just accept it. Make sure you get the number and his name and all of that, man, because that's weird, bro. But yeah, Justin got sentenced to life in prison for sexual battery and rape. So yeah, let that be a lesson to y'all out there, man. Like I said, I'm not in here to promote prostitution or nothing like that, but if you can't get no babby, bro, you know what I'm saying? You can. I would imagine you would at least think about something like that first before you thinking about trying to rape something. Cause it's got to be consensual for me. I can't do it. Can't do it. And then so that's all for that, man. But I can't believe it. It's sad, man. At any rate, for the next part of the show, we got the segment I also like to call Who Got Active. And on Who Got Active, right, I'm going to have to shout out Oklahoma Governor Stitt for his, his role in he defunded PBS out here for, like, having drag story time. And that's commendable to me. I mean, I know that's kind of part of maybe his job, but it's a lot going on out here. And I just want to highlight that because, that for me is appreciated, man, because we got to look out for the kids, man. They helpless. They really don't know. And some of these parents, they probably feel like they can trust us, a station like PBS. What's going on, Miss Hacker? What's happening? And shit, man, just trying to make this one go, as smoothly as possible. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. So shout out to Governor Stitt, man, for his role in shutting down, the this thing that we have going on in this country, man, where it's just like we trying to promote over sexuality, and especially to the kids, man, because that's reckless and endangering. Because it's like, those memories when you age 6, 7 to like 12, you don't necessarily forget that. That's something you carry on with you when you 30, 50, 60. You know what I mean? You don't really smoke the memories away. They stay with you. So you got this memory of some tall drag queen dude with makeup on reading you stories, and you remember that confusion, man. We don't really want to have that, man. I don't necessarily have children biologically, but I love children, man, and I want to protect them. And so I got to shout out, bruh, because, we need to, stand up for the kids, man. I'm going to try to figure out some more ways that I can do more to kind of, especially locally, because that's ridiculous, man. Some of these teachers and all of that, they going crazy, and I really don't like that, man. But at any rate, that's who got active, man. And for the last segment, the one I like to call Wake the Fuck Up, where I highlight, musical acts that I rock with in my own personal life, I want to give a shout out to the Sauce Twins. Now, it would probably be more appropriate for me to rock with each one individually, but I'm not finna stretch it out like that. I'm just finna give them both their flowers, bro. But Sauce Walker out of Houston, Texas, and Sancho Saucy, who you don't hear as much from, but I think is just, if not equally active, even more active, but more maybe behind the scenes. They deserve, some accolades, man, because they've changed the makeup of what's going on out there in H-Town, man. And they've even spoken up about how they feel about the situation with Takeoff going on out there, because that should have never happened. Yeah, I rock with Sancho, man, for real. But like I said, if y'all ain't heard none of their music, man, you late as fuck, and you welcome, because, they need to be rocked with more. Like I said, I shouldn't have a favorite, but I do rock with Sancho a little harder. But, he dropped music a lot less, so that might contribute to that, because, we see Sauce Walker doing this thing, and then, in the media a lot more, and, it is what it is, man. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, shout out to Texas, man. And I think that's going to be all for me today, y'all, man. I know the day was kind of brief, but like I said, I've been hella busy, and I still got a lot more to do. So I hope y'all can, understand. And but yeah, like I said, man, if y'all doing anything that's noteworthy, man, leave a comment, man. Thanks for the likes and the shares. And if you a sucker, man, you welcome to, man, show bitch ass. But, keep tuning in to the show, because this show is for you, especially. But for all of y'all, the Ren Gang and the Capiletta Club, man, shout out to y'all. Salute to y'all, man. Thank you for y'all viewership. I appreciate everything. And I'm going to get up out of here. But if you have anything you want to show me as far as love monetarily, man, shoot me some Cash App or something. $, SuperStee, SuperStee. And if you need some game throughout the week to keep you going, man, holla at my man Blaze on YouTube at Blaze the God, BlazeThagod. And get with the 5 a.m. club, because we A-likes, and Brett on the come up with his shit, man. So like I said, man, congratulations for rocking with the show. Like, share, subscribe. It's Jamerson Ballard on all platforms. And y'all have a productive week, and I'll see y'all next time. Holla.